Assalam Alaikum. Welcome to my channel. This is Rizwana and today we are going to learn about literary movements in American literature. First of all, if you are new to my channel, subscribe to it, press the bell icon and click on all option so that you may find the notifications of all my upcoming videos. So let's start our today's video. The first American movement that we are going to discuss is Native American literature, 1490 to 1700. This movement is based mainly on oral tradition. Those stories, fables, tales, myths, and chants were written down later for preservation. Nature and elements of nature are the most common aspects of Native American writings. Early settlers 1500 to 1670s. This group of writings were from those who were coming to America to settle a new land. This literature is comprised of letters, diaries, journals, and histories. Renowned authors of this movement were Columbus, John Smith, William Bradford. Puritanism 1620 to 1790. Written by those who were leaving Europe to find religious freedom, literature from this period is typically in the form of sermons, poetry, diaries, and moral based stories. Renowned authors from this period were Anne Bradstreet, Edward Taylor. American Enlightenment 1750 to 1800, also known as Rationalism, Classicism, or Age of Reason. Best known for this period and philosophical writings focusing on reason and common sense. These writings contributed in part to the American Revolution. Authors of this movement were Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. Romanticism 1820 to 1860. Authors focused on individualism, idealism, imagination, and nature. This work really produced the idea of America while rebelling against the classicism movement. Authors of this movement were Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Irving, Herman Melville. Fireside Poets, mid-19th century. They were the first group of American poets to become well known. They preferred classical form but relied on American legends and life for their subject matter. Poets were Henry Wordsworth Longfellow, William Cullen Bryant. Transcendentalism 1830 to 1850. They believe that the basic truth of the universe transcend the physical world and lie beyond the knowledge that can be obtained from the senses. They feel that every individual has the ability to experience God firsthand in his or her intuition. Nothing is in nature is trivial and insignificant. All is symbolic and important. Renowned author of this era was Ralph Waldo Emerson. Realism and Regionalism 1860 to 1914. This was the reaction against Romanticism and Neoclassicism. Factual is more important than emotional. These writings include stories of everyday man, treats nature objectively. Important author of this era was Mark Twain, that was considered the father of American literature. Naturalism focuses on social issues brought about by industrialization. It shows dark and ugly side of life. Authors of this movement were Stephen Crane, Edith Wharton, and Sinclair Lewis. Modernism 1914 to 1945. This movement includes a set of writers disillusioned by World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, shifts in means of expression, writing style, greater use of symbols. These are the features of modernism. Themes of alienation, individual perception, and human consciousness were the important themes. Authors of modernism were Scott Fitzgerald, Ernest Hemingway, William Faulkner, Henry Miller. Harlem Renaissance 1920 to 1930, a period of outstanding creativity among African American writers. Works were sophisticated explorations of black life and culture that revealed and stimulated a new confidence of social pride. Important authors of this movement were Langston Hughes, Ralph Ellison. Beat Movement 1950s centered in the Bohemian artists communities. The Beat movement defines itself in its alienation from the conventional, embracing jazz music, drugs, sex, and Buddhism. Allen Ginsberg was the renowned author of this movement. Postmodernism 1950s to onward. Postmodernism was defined as having a relativistic view on reality. Interpretation is everything based on concrete experiences. Boundaries are blurred. Popular culture becomes a driving force in literature and art. Arthur Miller, Edward Albee were the important authors. This movement also includes the feminists like Sylvia Plath, Rich, Toni Morrison. Contemporary 1970s to onward. It concerned with relationships and connections between people. Emotion provoking storytelling is common. Maya Angelou and Tom Clancy were the renowned author. Pluralism, late 20th century. The idea of diversity and acceptance drives this movement. Author addresses universal themes seen through the eyes of their cultures. Alice Walker and Sandra were the important authors of this movement. Magical realism extends to late 20th century. A juxtaposition of realist with fantastic, ordinary with magical elements were the important features of magical realism. Toni Morrison's Beloved is the renowned example of magical realism. This is all about today's video. Like and share my video. Hit the like button. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.